Hey guys, good morning. We're drawing a comparison right now between wisdom and foolishness and using the two different completely poles apart comparison to help us to understand what true wisdom is all about. The opposite of wisdom is foolishness. The opposite of the wise is the fools. So we're doing a bit of a comparison. Join with us. We're talking about foolish behavior. And one of the aspects of fools, you can tell a fool, is because he has no control over his tongue. A fool is somebody who just blabs. A fool is somebody who speaks too soon. A fool is somebody who will speak with arrogance. And the Proverbs are full of people who do this and speaking against them. And Proverbs 23 verse 9 says this: don't argue with a fool. Don't argue with a fool. Don't waste your breath. They've made up their mind. They're not going to change their mind because you come with a strong argument. We tend to think that if I can just beat him in an argument, then I can just prove my point to him, that he will change his mind. Trust me, that's a waste of breath. Don't waste your breath over that. It's totally unproductive. You'll notice that people who don't know how to control their tongues, it's like a bad habit. They do it once, they'll do it 100 times. They continue to speak like a dripping tap. You're not going to win your battle against that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have tried very hard in my perception, and it's my perception, to deal with people who are kind of sometimes like this, who come with the same argument all the time. And I'm in my mind, I'm creating an argument that I think might be biblical, might be more common sense, in order to win them over or to prove that they might be wrong. Every single time, people, I have failed. Don't talk to a fool. We talk to them, but we don't try and persuade them outside of their foolish behavior. Now, Proverbs 10 verse 18 talks about the symptoms of a fool. It says, whoever spreads slander is a fool. I see slander is a specific word. It's intentionally chosen, I believe, over here. Slander is not just an off-the-cuff bad comment or just a whimsical kind of a thing against somebody that is hurtful anyway. Don't do that. But slander, there's an aspect of slander that is planned. When you plan the demise of somebody, you will create slanderous statements about them. I have a great example, horrible one, but it's a good one. It's the story of Jesus. You know, the scribes and the Pharisees must have spent so much time together saying, how are we going to get rid of this guy? He's stealing our congregation. People aren't coming to church anymore. They're not coming to the temple. They're not paying their tithes. They're not doing what they used to do because they're too busy following Jesus. What are we going to do about this? And so we see them creating very creative arguments to bring down Jesus. They spend hours and hours trying to concoct stories about him, going on hearsay about him, having at best half-truths produced about him. And in their desire to see his demise, they created slanderous conversations. People like that, are mean. Don't hang with them. But one of the things about people like that is that they very often have their own comeback over here. I was going to say they often will see their butts, but that might be a little colloquial for some. I apologize. But they do. Sometimes the circle turns and the whole thing can backfire on them. And I've seen this happen too, where they have creative arguments against the guy, but silence wins every time. If you want to see a slanderous thing, have a look at what Satan did. Satan conspired to bring Jesus down. He saw Jesus' birth. He saw him baptized. And then he's on the mountain, Jesus on the mountain. And Satan visits him. And he's so smooth. He's so smooth. He comes with a really nice little argument, but Jesus is too clever. And Satan said, Jesus, you must be really hungry, man. Why don't you just turn these stones into bread and you'll be able to eat, man? This is a really cool thing to do. And Jesus sees this a mile off, and probably with a bit of a smile, he says, Satan, get out of here. Get out of him. You're a fool, man. You're a fool. Do you think I'm going to fall for that thing? Don't you know, don't put your Lord your God to a stupid test. Satan, get out of here. And by the way, Satan, it is written. It is written. It is written. Notice how Jesus dealt with the fool. He didn't enter into a debate with him. He didn't try and convince Satan. When Satan came with the next temptation, he said, hey, Jesus, look at the world. I'll take you to the top of the highest mountain. All of this I will give back to you if you'll just worship me for one moment. And Jesus looked at him and said, I made this. You just have kidnapped it. You've stolen it from me. It's mine anyway. But he didn't bother to say, well, Satan, do you know, back in the day of creation, I made this and I produced this and I did all that. He just said, Satan, get out of here. It is written. The next one was on the top of the temple tower, and Satan said, jump off, Jesus. You'll be a celebrity if you do. And we see Jesus again saying, Satan, when are you going to get over this? It is written. He kept the conversation short, to the point. He didn't enter into some long debate and try and prove academically through good words that he was who he was. Let's learn from that, people. When we deal with foolish people, keep conversations short. Be polite, but never enter into an argument. Don't try and change their minds. You're going to waste your time. Be careful when you call somebody a fool, because the Bible warns us against that. Be very sure that you are dealing with this in an integritous kind of a way. You don't tell anybody about it. You just think about it in your head to say, you know what, this is foolish, try to deal with a fool. And so, see if you could work that one out. Have a good day, guys. See you soon. Bye.